Imagine the situation. It is 4 a.m. in Taipei. The city is asleep. Suddenly, the entire power grid collapses. Total darkness engulfs the capital. Seconds later, the air raid sirens shatter the silence of the night, screaming across the island. Inside the mountain bunkers, radar operators watch in horror. Their screens are lighting up with hundreds of hostile contacts. Red dots are launching from mainland China, crossing the strait at hypersonic speeds. The Taiwanese command immediately reaches for the secure red line to Washington. They are desperate. They are waiting for one specific phrase. The cavalry is on the way. Hold the line, but this time. There is only static, no answer, no carrier groups moving to intercept, just a terrifying silence. On January 10, 2026, the geopolitical world shifted on its axis. Most people did not even notice it happening. While the Western world was sleeping, fresh intelligence reports indicate that the Pentagon has made a decision that seals the fate of 23 million people. The United States carrier strike groups are not steaming towards the Taiwan Strait to save the day. They are turning around, they are leaving. Is this the moment historians have warned about? Has the United States truly abandoned its unsinkable aircraft carrier for a secret backroom deal with Beijing? Today, we analyze the terrifying reports from January 26 that suggest the island is now completely alone. And we simulate exactly what happens in the first 72 hours of a war, when the world's superpower decides to simply look the other way. To understand the sheer panic spreading through Asia right now, we must follow the money. Rumors have been circulating for months that the Trump administration is looking for a clean exit strategy from the Pacific theater. America first is evolving into America only, but now we have tangible, frightening signs. Insiders from the Capitol report that a critical military aid package, valued at over $10 billion, has been indefinitely frozen. We are not just talking about money, we are talking about hardware. This package included the Vital Harpoon block, 2 anti-ship missiles, Stinger air defense systems, and the advanced long-range radar units that Taiwan needs to survive the first wave. The official reason given to the press, a strategic audit of foreign spending, but the reality is much darker. Intelligence suggests that Washington is frantically shifting its focus to the Western Hemisphere. The escalating crisis in Venezuela, the chaos in Mexico, and border security issues are now taking absolute priority over a distant island in Asia. There is a growing controversial theory among top analysts that a grand bargain is being negotiated behind closed doors. The theory is brutal. The United States withdraws from the first island chain, effectively handing Taiwan over to the Chinese sphere of influence. In exchange, Beijing forgives trillions of dollars in U.S. debt and halts its aggressive economic expansion in South America. For a businessman, this is just a transaction on a balance sheet. For the people of Taiwan, it is a death sentence. The island's Porcupine Strategy relies entirely on American resupply. Without it, the porcupine has no quills left to fight with. So, let us simulate the conflict. What does a modern war look like if the United States Navy does not show up? It does not start with an explosion. It begins with a blindness attack. In the first hour, a massive coordinated cyber attack shuts down not just the power grid, but the entire military data link. Satellites go offline, then comes the steel rain. The People's Liberation Army rocket force unleashes hundreds of F-16 and the carrier, killing F-20 6 missiles. These are precision weapons. Without the American Aegis ashore systems to intercept them in the upper atmosphere, Taiwan's aging Patriot batteries are overwhelmed within 45 minutes. Airbases are cratered, runways become useless piles of concrete, but the real tragedy happens in the skies above the strait. Taiwan possesses highly capable, brave pilots flying the upgraded F-16V Viper. Under normal circumstances, they are a formidable force. But today, they are flying into a trap. Without American AWACS aircraft providing deep look radar data, and without the cover of 22 Raptors, they are effectively flying blind. Facing them is the Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon. This is China's fifth-generation stealth fighter. The J-20 can detect a Taiwanese jet from over 200 kilometers away using active electronically scanned array radars. They will launch their B-15 long-range missiles and turn back to base before the Taiwanese pilots even know they are being targeted. It will not be a heroic dogfight like in the movies. It will be a cold, calculated execution from beyond visual range. Let us assume some Taiwanese forces survive the initial bombardment. They retreat to the beaches, digging in, preparing to repel an amphibious invasion. They have purchased powerful M1A2 Abrams tanks from the US. These are the beasts of the battlefield. But there is a fatal flaw in this plan. An Abrams tank runs on jet fuel, and it consumes a massive amount of it. If the US Navy steps aside, China does not even need to rush a risky landing. They can simply execute the Anaconda strategy. The Chinese Navy, now the largest in the world by hull count, will enforce a total, impermeable naval blockade. They will encircle the island with destroyers and submarines. Nothing gets in, no food, no medical supplies, no ammunition, and most importantly, no fuel. Within 2 weeks, the strategic oil reserves of Taiwan will run dry. Those terrifying Abrams tanks, without fuel, they become 60-ton paperweights, unable to move or turn their turrets. Once the defenders are starved and immobile, the Type 075 amphibious assault ships of the PLAAF will approach the coast. They will deploy hovercrafts and thousands of Marines. Without American attack submarines to thin out the invasion fleet from below, the sheer numbers will be impossible to stop. It becomes a game of simple mathematics, and the numbers are not on Taipei's side. You might be sitting comfortably in Europe or North America thinking, why should I care about a distant island in the Pacific? Here is exactly why. If the US abandons Taiwan, your life changes overnight. We are talking about TSMC. This single company produces over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. These chips are the brain of your iPhone, your laptop, your modern car, and even critical hospital equipment. If China takes control of these factories, or if they are destroyed in the crossfire, the global supply chain collapses immediately. Analysts predict a global depression that would make the financial crisis of 2008 look like a vacation. The price of a new smartphone could skyrocket to $5,000. Automobile production would halt for years. Tech giants in Silicon Valley would lose trillions in value within days. Furthermore, the geopolitical shockwaves would be catastrophic. If the United States breaks its ironclad promise to Taiwan, allies like Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines will realize they are next. We would see a rapid, terrifying nuclear arms race in Asia, as these countries realize that American security guarantees are now worthless. History does not forgive weakness. If these reports from January 26 are true, we are witnessing the end of the American era. Taiwan is being served up on a silver platter, but I want to hear from you. Do you think Donald Trump will actually go through with this betrayal to focus on domestic issues? Or is this a massive, dangerous bluff? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you are subscribed. In our next video, we will expose the leaked satellite images showing exactly where the US Marines are being redeployed. You do not want to miss that. Stay safe.